Yes, now the African Cup of Nations is nearly upon us. The tournament starts this Sunday, 21st of December, and it will be held across various stadiums across the northern African country of Morocco. Now, there's been 32 players called to represent their respective nations from the Premier League, and some teams are more affected and some teams are less affected. Now, let's start with the most affected, starting off with down here. I don't know if you can see, but it's Sunderland. They're going to have six first team players out of their squads now. That's going to leave a big dent to any squad, to be honest with you. But next, we have three clubs which are going to have at least three players out of their squad, starting off with Man United, Fulham, and Burnley. Now, Man United, if you watched the game last night, you know Mbemo and Ahmad, they made a big difference in the game. So without those two, with some big games coming up for Man United, there will be a loss. Now, Fulham, Bassi, Iwobi, and of course, what's the last one? Chikwueze. Now they're gonna be big misses as well, and we'll see how that goes. It is what it is. They've been called up. They've answered the call, and they will be representing their respective countries. Now, the medium affected are these clubs over here. So let's start with the teams that are gonna have at least two players out of their squad. So from the top up here, Wolverhampton, Forest, Everton, Man City, Brentford, Tottenham Hotspur, and of course West Ham. They're gonna have two players which are first teamers as always missing to the AFCON. And then next we have teams that are just going to have one player out of their squad, which would be Crystal Palace, Liverpool, Salah, big up, and also Brighton. Last but not least, the teams that will be least affected. In other words, they have zero players out of the 32 going to represent their countries in the African Cup of Nations. Now, those clubs are as below here. So it'll be Villa, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, and last but not least, Leeds.